Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Alex here with Dylan after a great weekend of Divisional Round football. We had some upsets, we had some just regular good games. Let's get into the playoff picture.
So as the playoff picture stands in the AFC, up top we got Tennessee here, the 6th seed this year, and we have the 2nd seed Kansas City Chiefs.
For the NFC, we have the Green Bay Packers with the 6th seed down here, going up to San Fran, number 1 seed for the NFC Championship game.
Now, let's analyze some of the plays from last week's game.
Alright guys, for the first play here, we had Tennessee versus the Ravens. Derrick Henry with a monster night, 195 yards, actually broke a postseason record. Here we see him line up a shotgun on 3rd and 1. They're going to give it to Henry for a 60-yard run down the field to set him up for a touchdown to score that game, 28-12. Tennessee moves on to the AFC Championship. Alright guys, for a play here, we have the Packers versus Seahawks. Seahawks need to stop the Packers here on 3rd and 8 if they want a chance to get the ball back into the game. Aaron Rodgers drops back to throw to who else? Devontae Adams for the first down. The game sealer. They would go on to win 28-23. The Packers moving on to the NFC Championship.
All right, so the play here for the NFC, the first game of the week, we had the San Fran-Minnesota game. As you see here, the punter for San Fran is going to punt it back deep, almost a 50-yard punt. Marcus Sherrills is Minnesota's punt returner. He is famous for being able to run back punts. As you see here, he's going to muff the punt right off his chest, and San Fran is going to take a very broken up drive and convert it into a field goal to win the game 27-10 against Minnesota Vikings. Now we're looking at a play from one of the craziest games of the weekend, I believe, Kansas City versus Houston. Houston starts off the game with 24 unanswered points, and then we're going to see here what happens with this play. Travis Kelce, first off, had an amazing night with 3 touchdowns. You're going to see here, they're going to line up on the goal line. Patrick Mahomes is going to scramble around here, and as he maintains his body behind the line of scrimmage, he's just going to lead flick right in front of Travis Kelce. Touchdown is what ended up being ruled because he had a foot behind the line of scrimmage. That game ended up being 51-31, Kansas City. Now on to our expert analyst predictions for this week.
I think you see Baltimore.
Lamar Jackson is just a bit too much for that Tennessee team.
I'm going with Baltimore here, no question.
But to be honest with you, I don't see Tennessee ever in any situation beating Baltimore.
I'm sticking with Baltimore.
And Kansas City.
They're not going to be able to go on the road into a tough environment like Kansas City.
So I still pick Kansas City. I'm going to go 21-14.
I can't bet against Kansas City here either.
I'm going with Kansas City.
When you go into Lambeau Field and try to win, it ain't gonna happen.
I'm going to go with the home field advantage in the Packers.
Russell Wilson gonna defeat the Green Bay Packers.
I'm going to go with Seattle here, and I'm going to say that they're going to beat Green Bay in a very close game. I'm going to say maybe a field goal to score it off.
Now it's Aaron Rodgers. The ball's in his court. Is he going to do it? Is he going to make a Super Bowl run? It's all up to him right now. I see him getting by Seattle.
You're gonna have San Francisco go on to win it.
But I think San Francisco is going to win a close one.
Don't think it's going to happen this week. I'm going San Fran.
I'm going to say San Fran's going to beat them probably 28-10.
You know what? I'll go out on a limb. Minnesota knocks off San Fran.
We're back. Another week of football done, and we had another upset. Of course, we went 3-4 here. That upset with Tennessee taking out Baltimore. I don't think anybody saw that. I don't think one person last week said, hey, Tennessee's going to win. But I hear some people out there talking I'm just a all chalk guy.
I know, I mean, I'm trying not to pick chalk like Mr. Monoski, but
What I do is I pick winners. I pick winners every day. I don't change my picks a lot. I pick winners. Now, with that being said, if you need some Christmas money, you need to figure out how to pay for the bills this week, here are your two winners. You have Kansas City playing Tennessee. Everybody's riding high on Derrick Henry. He's rolling over everybody. Tennessee's going to give them a game. It's going to be even easier. I even heard a student tell me that they're going to pick Tennessee to beat Kansas City. We know that's not going to happen. Kansas City's going to roll to the Super Bowl. And I said it last week, when Kansas City and Baltimore, I thought they would play this week and the winner would be the Super Bowl champion. Well, Kansas City just got a bye week. So they're going to end up rolling over Tennessee. Now, in the NFC, we have San Francisco and Green Bay. San Francisco, I think this is a gimme for them. It's almost like a resting week for both Kansas City and San Francisco. They're going to beat Green Bay handedly, probably by more than 2 touchdowns. You heard it first. It's going to be Kansas City playing San Francisco in the Super Bowl. Put everything you own on Kansas City. They're going to roll to a championship, and Mahomes gets his first Super Bowl title.
all right, let's take a look at last week's games. First in the NFC. Let's take the Green Bay versus Seattle. Green Bay tried as hard as it could to lose that game, much like they always do, but they end up winning accidentally in the end. So Green Bay, congratulations to them and Aaron Rodgers for their trip to the NFC Championship game. Now, let's take a look at the powerhouse in NFC, San Francisco. Boy, you take Nick Bosa right here, probably the best defensive player other than TJ Watt in the entire league. So I looked at, we have Nick Bosa and the awesome defensive front for San Francisco versus Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers cries too much. I don't think it's gonna work. He will not be creative enough. He will not be able to run fast enough. They are not standing up to the San Francisco 49ers in this game. So I'm picking San Fran to go to the Super Bowl. Now, for the biggest topic, the biggest craziest thing that happened over the weekend, yes, it is Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher getting surprised and getting finally get the recognition he deserves. Bill Cowher, quite possibly the best coach in NFL history, is now going to Canton, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Now, why is this important? Okay, because Bill Cowher, a long time ago, had the insight, right, to draft a guy named Mike Vrabel, right? So we have Mike Vrabel coming up as a rookie, getting mentored by Cowher. This guy, Mike Vrabel, taking all that Steelers intel with him, now head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Anybody see this coming? This guy, right? I clearly stated in September, Tennessee, #1 pick for the Super Bowl, and I'm riding with them now. I'm going to take a dark horse pick here on Tennessee. Okay, so we have Tennessee going against Kansas City Chiefs. My homie, my boy, I'm sorry, man, it ain't going to be this week, right? So you can run around, you can scamper, you can no-look pass, you can do whatever it is you do. You're not getting one up against Vrabel and his Steelers background on that defense. So anyhow, to recap, you heard it here first in September. You heard it in October. I stick to my guns. I have San Fran and Tennessee, just like I always did.
What's up, sports fans? Mr. Snyder here talking some conference championship games. Coming off a pretty good week of picks as I went 3 for 4. Getting the Tennessee-Baltimore game wrong. I think all of us got that one wrong. So once again, Tennessee coming up with a big upset. They're hot right now, but I think this is the week that their Cinderella story comes to an end. So just going to jump right into the picks. Start off with the AFC Championship. I picked Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl at the beginning after my two teams lost out with New England and New Orleans, so I jumped on Kansas City. I'm going to continue picking them. I'm going to take Kansas City over Tennessee, 33-24 in a pretty high-scoring affair. Moving on to the NFC Championship. Once again, I took Green Bay to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm going to ride Aaron Rodgers. I think they're going to go ahead and pull off a pretty big upset as a 7.5-point underdog. I'm going to pick Green Bay to beat San Francisco in a nail-biter on the last-second field goal 24-23. That puts Kansas City and Green Bay into the dance, and I'm going to go with Andy Reid locking down the Super Bowl title. So we'll see what happens, but nonetheless, enjoy the games this weekend.
Hey guys, Big Al here with your picks for the championship games, AFC and NFC. I'm going to go a little different from all the other analysts and teachers that we have. So I'm going to go with, for the AFC championship, we got Tennessee at Kansas City. I'm going to go Tennessee here with the upset. I think Derrick Henry is unstoppable right now. I don't think Andy Reid can stop Derrick Henry in that powerful offense. I'm going to go 31-28, Tennessee winning by a field goal and going to the Super Bowl.
I even heard a student tell me that they're going to pick Tennessee to beat Kansas City. We know that's not going to happen.
For the NFC, we got Green Bay going to San Fran. I'm going to stick with San Fran here. I think they can't be stopped. Green Bay barely winning last week. I don't think they have it in them. I'm going to go 28-21, San Fran.
All right. I knew this day was gonna come. The day where I went 2-4, and here it is. So what I'm gonna say is, I was trying to not pick like everybody else. I didn't want to pick all home teams, but except for Tennessee, every home team won. So we're not even gonna talk about last week. We're gonna talk about this week because I'm gonna be right this week. I know what's gonna happen. So in the AFC, you're gonna have Kansas City. You're gonna have Tennessee. I am most definitely calling this game. There is no way that Tennessee wins against Kansas City. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, after scoring 51 points last week, are going to destroy the Titans. That's going to happen. The score of that game is going to be insane. I'm going to call it at 35-10. Now for the NFC. This is the game that people are going to want to see. This is going to be definitely the closer of the two. I just want to mention here before we get into any prediction between the game that last week I did call the San Francisco game missing by 1 point. They did win 27-10 against Minnesota. I called it at 28-10. I'm going to say San Fran is going to beat them probably 28-10. San Francisco is my team this year. I have a connection with them. I know what's going to happen. I can confidently say that they're going to edge past the Packers in a very close game. You have San Francisco with Jimmy G. You have Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, and I want to say that's about it on Green Bay's side, other than a few wide receivers that can make some catches. I know that I'm going with both home teams here, but it actually has a reason for saying it. I'm not just picking the home field advantage like the other analysts in the series. And I confidently think that San Francisco will beat Green Bay with a score of 27-23.
All right, after looking at what everybody said for this week, once again, I do think that I'm probably going to outperform Alex this week.
See about that, Dylan, as I think the overall record, I'm still leading. Well, let's see about this weekend. Everybody enjoy watching football. We'll see you Wednesday next week.